Everyone betrayed me. They betrayed my trust. I'm fed up with this world. I'm going for a walk. Ah! You're tearing me apart, pizza! Ah! You're tearing me apart, Rita! Oh! You're tearing me apart, zebra! Oh, hi, shark. Thank you, and welcome to Quite Contrary. F*** you, Parker Millsap. Today we're going to be talking about The Room. This is yet another fan request from our great fan, Zach Shock. Zach said he wanted us to do the Quite Contrary treatment for The Room. And obviously, The Room is a movie that has been panned ad nauseum. We don't have to tell you how bad this movie is. That's why we're going to tell you what rocks about it.
Number one, The Room as an experience. The Room has become a cultural phenomenon of sorts. It came out in what, 2005 or something?
I think it was a little earlier. I think it might be a child of the 90s.
But this is like an extreme example of getting a second life in a movie. A cult classic. It has far surpassed that status.
It actually made it profitable eventually because he retained the rights to it.
Yeah, so he's profiting on it still. And still people are finding out about it today. It was such a slow build-up. And now there's a second movie. There's been...
we're working on the third movie.
Well, The Disaster Artist was a book that was written by the co-star in the movie, next to Tommy Wiseau. I can't remember his name right now.
Salami Wiseau.
Salami Wiseau. So what's happened with Disaster Artist is that it's gotten people to watch The Room for the first time, because it's an incredible watch when you see how James Franco's impression of Tommy Wiseau and everything else that goes along with that movie and the stories that come out of this movie.
And I think the interesting thing about how it's getting people to watch The Room is because while The Disaster Artist was kind of a small release, next to The Room, it's a juggernaut. Yes. It is so much bigger.
Yes, it is. It is crazy. The Room has also sparked. I don't think that we would have How Did This Get Made, which was a very popular podcast with Paul
Giamatti,
not Paul Rubens.
Rudd.
No, not that Paul. Paul Scheer. It's got Paul Scheer and Jason Mantzoukas and Paul's wife, which her name's escaping me right now. But anyway,
of course, you forgot the girl's name.
Yeah, well, she's never on the show.
Oh wait, are we saying that
June Diane Rayfield?
Are we saying that we wouldn't have The Room? Are we saying that we wouldn't have How Did This Get Made without The Room?
I believe that's true.
I feel like we wouldn't have The Disaster Artist without How Did This Get Made. Because they're all in it.
That's true. It's a big circle. It's a web of interconnectivity. But and I love that podcast. That podcast, it tackles really horrible movies that are bad to watch, or really bad movies that are fun to watch,
and that are it's a surprise to them that they got sold, because every movie is a product that has to get sold to a studio.
Right. And anyway, the point is, The Room has just spawned all kinds of. There's all this stuff that goes around. There are live events now, like that's something.
All the Rocky Horror Picture Show, right? Where they screen it at midnight,
right? And they even have the same kind of things where there's cues in the movie where the audience throws forks at the screen. Like it's ridiculous.
I think the most interesting thing about it is that the multimedia experience, the whole Wiseau universe of this thing doesn't end with the book or either of the movies.
Yeah,
because there are things about Tommy Wiseau and his creation and his life that aren't answered in The Disaster Artist, that are still mysteries, and it spawns fan theories and fandoms, and it's just this big community of people centered around this really crappy movie.
Yeah.
And when you think about all of the entertainment value that comes out of that as an experience and not just the movie, you get something that very few other movies have managed to do in general.
That's very true. Go ahead.
When you think of multimedia experiences, you think of movies that spawn books and comic books and video games and stuff like that. This one
actually did that too. This one has spawned books and a comic book.
Really?
That was actually written by what's the kid's name in the movie? I forget. But it's the
Denny.
Denny. He jumps in the bed with them.
Yeah.
Denny, the actor, created a comic book about his life or his experience with The Room. It's not good, but I mean, it's impressive how many things that they've actually spawned out of this movie. But I think they fell short. I think that we didn't get really what we all wanted so badly.
What more could you ask for?
The ride.
The what?
The Room. The ride.
Okay, Johnny. Here it comes. Hands up. Ah!
Oh,
What? Where are we?
we're in San Francisco.
Oh, I know what this is. Get the guns. Get the guns. Okay. Look, there's Lisa.
Get her.
And Mark.
Oh, get him.
And Johnny.
Oh.
Wake up, Johnny, come on!
Oh. Oh no.
Hey.
That's not good. That was he did it.
Hello, darkness.
Stop. Can we get out?
I've come to talk with you again.
Hey everybody, sorry to derail the video, but I wanted to check and make sure that if you're enjoying the content so far, to go and subscribe. We'll wait just 1 second. Did you do it? It tickled. That's weird. Number 2. The cinematography was on point. Say what you will about this movie, it is shot beautifully. There are just some... The visual language of this movie is... Well, it was the state of the art at the time. There's no other way to say that. The fact of the matter is that we learned from the Disaster Artist that Tommy Wiseau was independently wealthy, and as a result, he was able to hire some amazing talent as far as his photography went.
Yeah.
He had the best cameras, and he had some Hollywood professionals actually shooting kind of a crappy movie.
I remember when we both saw this movie for the first time. We actually watched it together,
Which was before the Disaster Artist.
That's true. Yeah, we didn't just get on the bandwagon with Disaster Artist. But anyway, beside the point. What I'm saying was, when we watched this for the first time, it was in the opening credits scene. Zach, you were blown away by the shots of San Francisco.
I was expecting it to be really primitive because
Right.
I've seen a lot of B movies.
Right.
And this just was so far above the rest. I was thinking of this scene, and I feel like it's right before the party scene where he gets into a fight, and he's actually walking through San Francisco at dusk. I was talking to Jay Free about this earlier, and just everything about the timing and the way that the cars are moving behind him, it just made it feel like you were on the cusp of something, like night was about to begin.
Right.
And there was all of this high concept, cinematographic, visual language going on in this.
I used to know a girl. She had a dozen guys. One of them found out about it, beat her up so bad she ended up in a hospital on Guerrero Street.
What a story, Mark.
Yeah, you can say that again.
I'm so happy I have you as my best friend, and I love Lisa so much.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you are very lucky.
The thing is that we actually found some of the audio from the lost auditions for the part of Johnny. I did not hit her, Mother. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, brother. Why, Lisa? Please talk to me, please. You are part of my life. You are everything. I cannot go on without you, Lisa. What else do you want? Hooah! Don't touch me, motherfucker.
Is it?
Phil Hartman was a genius. They knew each other for years.
Number 3. It's actually kind of inspirational. So, The Room, if nothing else, if you don't get why it's interesting or popular or any of that,
Or a movie.
Right.
Which eludes me.
it stands. Okay, it's a fact. It's a fact that it did well. It came back and it made money. That's something.
In the most roundabout way possible, you are correct. You are technically correct.
The
which
reason-
is the best kind of correct.
That's right. The reason I say that is because it can inspire people, and it should inspire you, that you could go out and make a thing. That is, there. Okay, right now, there are less gatekeepers. There are less things keeping you from actually going out and making a thing. Before, if you wanted to have a TV show, or you wanted to make a movie, or you wanted to be a successful artist and all this other stuff, there were so many different things and loops you had to jump through to get to it, to actually get to actually your dream of actually becoming a professional at it. But now, you got YouTube, you got so many different tools on the internet.
Extremely powerful technology.
Yes.
If you look at like the barriers that even Tommy Wiseau had,
Right.
you know, he wound up actually overspending on some of the technology, but he was buying film cameras. You know, he was buying video equipment that was all very expensive at the time.
He did a lot of stupid things, like buying digital and film cameras,
Right.
and shooting with both.
Right.
Yes.
Although, you know, it's very easy to get a hold of a digital camera now.
My point is, you're probably smarter than Tommy Wiseau, so you can do this too. Like, you can make a successful something. Is my point. I don't know. Is that a low bar? You don't know.
It depends. Are we going for cinematic greatness or limbo?
I don't know.
Answer me that, Johnny.
Somewhere in between. Somewhere in between.
I think what Johnny's trying to say here is that no matter what your creative outlet is, no matter who you are as an artist, your voice is valid. Oh!
Maybe not.
Maybe not everyone.
Maybe not everyone. Yeah.
And that's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for hanging out all the way to the very, very end. We want to remind you that if this is your first time on the channel, that if you enjoyed our stuff, you can hit that subscribe button. It's good for you. You can also ring the bell, which will give you all the notifications that you need to see future content from Quite Contrary. And don't forget that this is also a fan-funded channel. We absolutely love our patrons. We try to do our best for them. If you're curious about what we do for our patrons, check out the link in the description. There's all sorts of stuff there. And there's a fun little video for you to enjoy.
Yeah, part of that is actually becoming really technically a producer of 3 different YouTube channels. We're one of 3 of the Warlocks Entertainment System Network, so check that out.
And until next time...
Oh! Is that what we were doing? We didn't discuss that. Ow.